All right, I'm going to be showing you guys how to use top-down analysis and standard deviation to basically find drawn liquidity. It's very, very simple. I used to overcomplicate my top-down analysis using Power 3, Session Power 3, and not using standard deviation the right way. But essentially, all you're going to be doing to have a good top-down analysis, and trust me, this is the most accurate top-down analysis that you'll ever need, is treating the higher time frame like the 1 minute and going from there. So, for example, if we look back on Wednesday, we'll just do replay, right? Look back on Wednesday. Well, if we treated this as the 1 minute, this is a V-shaped recovery, right? We clearly invert this 1 hour gap with speed and aggression off rip, right? So what would you do if this was the 1 minute? Okay, if this was the 1 minute time frame, we'd put our stop loss at the low, right? And we'd be targeting this high. That's basically, or at least going break even at this high. That's basically how you should be viewing price whenever you're doing your top-down analysis. All right. Now, obviously, today we didn't, I mean, Wednesday we didn't really get the best entry. Maybe like for my model, we didn't get the best entry, but if you have a continuation model, that works fine. Now, when using standard deviation to add on to that, what you're going to want to do is this. I personally use this, right? But I take the 15 minute because the 15 minute can tell you where we're going to go on the day. You take the manipulation to the break structure is basically what I like to do. And as you see here, just the manipulation, right? And come up. And guess where we decide to reverse off of? So obviously, if we get our reaccumulation stage, that's what the -1, -1.5 is for. You heard it from me. And then -2 could be reversal and also another reaccumulation. But today we decided to use the -4 to ultimately reverse from. Now, doing it again the next day, what do we get at 9 o'clock? Right? Off rip at 9, we get a inversion of this gap, right? So we're using this inversion and we're looking for an extra on liquidity, right? What are we doing right now? This gap inverted right at 10, but as you can see here, like we're clearly bouncing between two P arrays, and you do not want to chop. I mean, you do not want to trade whenever between two P arrays. You have a bearish gap here and a bullish gap. Just wait for one of them to close over, wait for one of them to get inverted. You don't need to just gamble either longs or shorts here. So that's what we do. We end up closing below here. All right, that tells us that we're bearish. Now, where are we going to go from here? Right now, if we treat this like the 1 minute, right? We'd want to rebalance this entire range at the very least. So from there, I'd be like, okay, I'd be targeting right here in this original breakaway gap on the 1 hour, right? So this would be my target for if I want to get bullish, but for now we're shorting to that gap. Now you can take TPs at this low or this gap right here, but you can also use standard deviation to tell you, okay, where are we most likely to go? So as you can see here, here's our manipulated high, here's the break structure low. And if we use standard deviation, guess what? It's at that gap, right? And there you go. Right. And that's a lot. And this is actually how a lot of these bottom tickers are using standard deviation to bottom tick. So there you go. And then I'd use this one for Friday, but obviously Trump manipulated the market, so we ended up dumping. But besides that, we can use it again into this price action, right? So here we are. Here's that dump, and then here's that new week opening gap. And then here's us filling that gap going higher. So if we look here, right, this is our clear manipulative leg lower. We take this, we come up here, okay? Guess what? -1, a reaccumulation slash rebalance stage. We come down, we rebalance, and we end up heading back higher, right? And this is clearly our drawn liquidity up here. All right, so based off of this being our drawn liquidity, we end up reversing off of that, and if we go back to what I was saying beforehand, that's what we were doing on the higher time frame. All right, we're treating this like the 1 minute. We come down, we tap into this gap here. So now you're looking, now if you're trading, what time is this? If you're trading lunch here, tap down, right? And even if you waited for this entire hourly to close, right? Tap down, clear manipulation up. Guess what we're going to go for next? This high, all right? That's your drawn liquidity now, just based off of that. You're not looking for shorts because we just dumped all those mini points. You're not looking to wait for price to come back to equilibrium and come back down. We're delivering off of something. That is your main thing. Whatever we're delivering off of, until we reach that next gap or until we reach that next high or that low, that is your drawn liquidity. Until then, you're just looking for the best, safest trade to get there. Now, you can look at today and use the same standard deviation as before, right? We come up, we take the drawn liquidity out, and guess what we do? We manipulate higher, come lower. And guess what we're currently reversing off of? The -2, -2.5, right? And you could have, honestly, you could have limited this low as a turtle soup. So let me turn this off. This low, turtle soup, limit the -2, -2.5, right? And you would have bottom ticked that, right? Now, I personally don't recommend bottom ticking. I like confirmation better. But this is basically just how you use your top-down analysis and standard deviation to help you locate drawn liquidity and basically just know where price is going. You just using the higher time frame.